have a few things I want to say just to help us have an efficient meeting, effective meeting. One, please keep yourself on mute if you're not speaking. And if you could, and you know how to do this, add your name and your organization to your screen. If you click on the little dots on your photo there, you can change your name and you can add your organization. We'd like to see which CDCs are represented today. And I also want everybody to know that we're going to be recording this event. Okay. All right. So to start us off, I would like to ask for a moment of silence, if you don't mind, to reflect on the losses and difficulties that we've all experienced through this pandemic. This is really a time to reach into your hearts, please. Think about our brothers and sisters, those who we've lost, those of our fellow Americans who have been severely impacted by this pandemic, those who are alone, scared, and sad. It's our collective love that can bring some good to our neighbors. Please join me. Okay, thank you, everybody. That was very special. To continue our efforts here to orientate ourselves to positive collective action, I'd like us all to acknowledge the land that we sit on today. I'm going to read a formal acknowledgement that recognizes and respects Indigenous peoples as stewards of this land. My maternal grandmother was an Algonquin, and I'm honored to read this acknowledgement. Please take time to listen to these words and the connection it has to our circumstances. You know, geography is not just a physical space. It's history, tradition, family, and relations, and it's now. We would like to take a moment to recognize and appreciate the land we are gathered on today. By stating our acknowledgement that this is, we are acknowledging this as an effort to be more present and aware of the fact that we were on stolen land, Indigenous land, the result of broken treaties and structural racism that resulted during our nation's formation centuries ago, and it continues today. Recognizing the land allows for the creation of a safe space for open dialogue and community building with Indigenous communities. It's a way for us to acknowledge and appreciate the land we meet on, and a way of recognizing and respecting Indigenous peoples, past and present, who have been living and working this land. We also acknowledge the inequities that harmed Indigenous tribes' ability to thrive, and that these inequities still exist today, only compounded by time. Therefore, we'd like to recognize the Massachusetts people. We'd like to recognize the Wampanoag tribes, including the Nauset, Nantucket, Pennacook, Packanack, and Paccaset. We recognize the Mohican tribe, including the Nipmuc and the Pequot, and we recognize the Mohican tribe, including the Pocumtuck. As we move forward, please consider taking a moment to honor those who came before us, those who struggled and will still struggle to maintain their communities and their way of life. Thank you, everybody, for participating in this. I really appreciate it. And now I'm going to, I believe, pass on the next segment to our Vice Chair, Angie Liu.
I believe you're also going to review the agenda first.
I am, okay. Can you put that up, please? Yes, thank you. So we're doing our welcome now. We're going to do some networking, some breakout groups. We're going to have an election of our board of directors. Our executive director will give you an overview of the year. We have some awards to give out, some fantastic people. We're going to do some more breakout sessions after that, our famous CDC roll call. And then we have a really exciting guest video from a spoken word artist that I think you're going to really enjoy. And then we'll do our closing. And now I will pass it over to Angie Liu. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dave, for that. So now we're actually going to do something a little bit fun. I know the year 2020 has not been what any of us expected or could have imagined. And I know times have been very difficult for many of us and for our communities. But as Thanksgiving is upon us, next week, We like to take some time to think about what we are thankful for. So we're going to do a little bit of exercise called expressions of gratitude. So this is a poll, and we want you to take just really quickly a minute to think of one word, something that you are thankful for. So it can be something as simple as thankful for chocolates, thankful for friends or families, just one word. And you have two ways of doing this. The first way is you can copy and paste that link at the top, that pollev.com. And I see Leah Downing has put that link in the chat box. So you can cut and paste that into your browser and enter your one word of gratitude into that link. The other way is to whip out your smartphone and do it by text. So text Nadine S470 to number 22333. And I'll give people a couple minutes to do this because as words come in, you should be able to see those words start to pop up. And what we're going to form is a word cloud. So we'll give that a couple minutes. And I'm going to do it myself as well.
Doesn't seem to have started yet.
Yeah, the link says it's underway. Oh, here we go. All right, starting to see some words pop up. Wow, look at those come in. Family is a big one. Health, community, collaboration, friendship. Yes, yes. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. This is great. Thank you. We figured this is a fun and interactive exercise to ground ourselves and to remind ourselves that despite the extraordinary times that we are all living in now, we still have things that we can be grateful for and show our appreciation and gratitude. So thank you very much for participating in this. Thank you. All right. And now the next part is after expressing gratitude for each one of our, what we are thankful for in our personal lives or work. Now we are also going to express gratitude to our sponsors who have made this annual meeting possible for MACDC. The first one is our presenting sponsor, Bank of America. We also have our platinum level sponsors. Thank you to Boston Private, Massachusetts Housing Investment Corporation, Massachusetts Housing Partnership, the Boston Foundation, United Way Massachusetts Bay and Merrimack Valley, NeighborWorks America, and JP Morgan Chase. Next slide. We also have our gold and silver sponsors. So gold level, we have Capital One, Delbrook Construction, Massachusetts Growth Capital Corporation, Wind Companies. At the silver level, we have Archer Consulting, Dedham Savings, Dorchester Bay EDC, Harbor Light Community Partners, Kevin P. Martin Associates, Klein Hornig, M&T Bank, Needham Bank, NEI General Contracting, Peabody Properties, Topps Health Plan, and Wingate Management Company. So thank you very much for all of our sponsors, as well as the bronze level sponsors, which you can see on the screen. We really very much appreciate your support to sustaining MACDC's important work and in supporting our members during this time. And now I'm going to introduce a special message from our presenting sponsor, Bank of America. I'm not hearing any sound. Is anyone hearing any sound from the video?
No, Angie, I'm not hearing it.
No
Sorry
sound.
about that. 1 second.
As a reminder to please mute your mics.
Looks like we're getting there, folks.
My name is Eric Harwich, Area Lending Manager for Greater Boston. And on behalf of my colleagues at Bank of America, I'm happy to be here with you all today, virtually. Bank of America is proud to support the MACDC in their tireless work advocating for inclusive and interconnected communities across the Commonwealth, and we're honored to call them a close and longstanding partner in our shared efforts to improve economic mobility. Like everyone here today, we want our communities to develop and thrive with opportunity for all. Housing and community development are the cornerstones of a healthy community, and here in Massachusetts, we face a critical shortage of affordable housing. Massachusetts has been creative and proactive in seeking housing solutions, and we all have a part to play. Bank of America initiated a $5 billion community homeownership commitment, a tailored, community-centered program that matches our resources to the unique needs of home buyers in low and moderate income communities across the country. The community homeownership commitment is designed to help more than 20,000 individuals and families thrive through the power of homeownership. However, we still have a long way to go, and we're pleased to support organizations like the MACDC that propel the conversation forward and work hard every day to find solutions to critical problems. Bank of America is grateful to play a small role in this annual meeting and look forward to continuing the partnership together. Thank you.
Thank you for that message from Bank of America, our presenting sponsor. So now the next segment that I'm going to introduce is a networking session, and we're going to do it via breakout rooms. So for those of you who have participated in MACDC's annual meetings in the past, for example, like last year, you probably remember the big rooms, as well as the breakout session panels at Holy Cross College in Worcester, as well as the lunch. I always really enjoyed seeing everyone's faces, talking and meeting with people who I had not met before. And it's through those informal interactions that we often get to build long-lasting relationships. And those relationships really is the bond that facilitates our collective work. And because we have to do this virtually, we cannot do those in person. So we're going to try to recreate this in the breakout rooms. So when you go into the breakout rooms, and I think we'll probably have maybe approximately 8 minutes. So as the prompt, we would like you to discuss this prompting question, which is, how has the pandemic strengthened your organization or you personally? So to model that, I can say that the pandemic has actually really brought our staff together. in terms of morale and just the cohesion. And so we're going to, I think Nadine or Leah is going to break us into breakout groups shortly. Oh, and one prompt is that when you come back, we would like your groups to report out just in the chat box some highlights that you learned in your group. Okay? So see you in a bit. We do not have the time for all the groups to share because we have 236 participants. That would take a long time. So all I would ask is for you to share in the chat box, and we encourage you to continue this conversation in the chat box to share about what your group talked about, what strengthened your organization or you personally during a pandemic. And now I am going to hand over to Jennifer Van Kampen, who is going to lead our board of directors election. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Angie. We have one more important vote, people, to take this 2020 election season. In a moment, I'm going to be asking you to vote for this slate of board of directors members of MACDC. But first, I want to thank some of the outgoing board members who have made many, many contributions, in some cases over many, many years. So thank you goes out to Richard Thal, Steve Teasdale, and Meredith Levy, who were very awesome members of the board, and we will miss them, and we wish them well in their next endeavors. And I'd like to recognize and highlight the three new board members coming on. Gonzalo Puigbo of Somerville Community Corp, there we go. Casey Starr of Maine South CDC, and Sunith John of Fenway CDC. So this is your new board of directors. And can I have a motion to adopt this slate as presented?
So moved.
Thank
I'd like to
you.
make a motion. I'll make a second.
And we've got a second. Awesome. If you are in favor of this, please give us a thumbs up or a wave. And Angie is going to count all 236 of you. So let's see
I
it.
didn't sign up for that.
It looks like the motion carries. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, and thank you to everybody who agreed to serve on the board. You know, I spent a lot of time talking to nonprofit executives about board of directors, and I always say I'm the luckiest one. I have such a terrific board, and because most of them are executive directors, it works out great. So my job is to just share a little bit of what's been happening at MACDC, and I appreciate the opportunity. And we always like to start with our mission statement. I just want to call two words out in this mission statement. You'll see in the second line the word adaptive, and then you'll see a little bit later the word equity. And I think this year, those two words have really been the major themes of the year, really having to adapt to something that none of us ever thought could happen, ever even knew was a possibility, at least speaking for myself. But I think many of us never thought something like this could happen, this pandemic. And the way our organization and all of you have responded really shows that we are hitting that part of our mission. And I think our commitment to equity, racial and economic and otherwise, has really been an important theme this year for a whole host of reasons. We'll talk a little bit more as the meeting goes on. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, no, yeah, thank you. So a couple years ago, we adopted a strategic plan with these 5 priorities: building the power and voice of lower income people and people of color, expanding housing, reducing income and wealth inequality, health equity, and racial equity. And this summer we had a board retreat and we reflected on these priorities, and we thought, yeah, those are pretty relevant during this this difficult year. So we're sticking with those, and those do guide all the pieces of our program. Next slide. So we organize our work. This should all look familiar to you. in 4 buckets of activity: member services, advocacy and policy, the Mel King Institute, and our research and innovation work. And those 5 core priorities flow through each of these. And hopefully all of those are familiar to you. And in a minute, I'll tell you a little bit about what we accomplished. We were able to accomplish this because of our great staff. And here they are in their home offices. We were able to, on Thursday, March 12th, put our laptops in our bags and go home and just keep working because we're already 100% in the cloud. Everybody had their own laptop. And I want to thank John Fitterer for preparing us for this moment. So we were able, and the staff were able to work very seamlessly, but it wasn't easy. We had to onboard 2 new staff people, Leah Downing and Tiana Lawrence. David had to figure out how to lobby the State House without actually going to the State House. Sharonda and Sarah had to move all of our Mel King programming to an online format. Alana had to answer all of our questions about COVID-19 because she's our public health expert. John had to answer all of our technology questions. Pam and Nadine had to organize our first ever virtual lobby day and then our first ever virtual annual meeting, not to mention helping out with the virtual Mel King breakfast. And Don was cranking out memos and meeting minutes from all of our peer group meetings like never before. So I want to thank the staff and give them a little round of applause because they really stepped up to the moment. So what have we accomplished over the last year? Next slide. In our member services program, I just want to call out in that blue column there, 100 total meetings, 77 peer groups, 2,000 people. And I think that just reflects that, especially since March, the participation from our members has been really extraordinary. It's been one of the good things about going to an all remote format. It's really helped many more people participate. So we're feeling like we're engaged with our members more deeply than we have ever before. On the policy front, the next slide. Next slide, there we go. This is a tough slide to create because we had about another 10 bullets that we had to remove just so you could read it. But to call out a couple of things, on the small business side, we helped secure $50 million of grant funding for small businesses. We've got another $50 million pending in the State House that should be approved in the next couple of weeks. We worked with others to get a 7-month eviction moratorium put on the books and now $171 million to help prevent evictions. So there are many other achievements. We're part of many coalitions. It's always a collaborative effort, both at the staff level, the member level, and our partner agencies. But thanks to our policy team, we got a lot accomplished, even though there's more to do. Next slide. And then the Mel King Institute, I think this is by far the most, our biggest year ever. 728 students, 80 different courses, 609 residents trained through the public housing program. We're really proud of that number and the way that program has been expanding. So the King Institute continues to have a big impact on our field. Next, please. We do all this work, of course, to help you do your work. And our goal survey underscored once again the collective aggregate impact of our field. And the number on this slide that I want to highlight is $918 million of economic activity that you all are generating in your communities. When we started this in 2002, our goal was to hit that number over a 4-year period. And here we are in 1 year, nearly $1 billion. And who knows, maybe when we get the survey results in March, we'll top $1 billion. So what's next? What's next? Well, 4 years ago at our annual meeting, many of us were wondering what the future would bring. We were anxious. And some of you might recall this photo from our event at Holy Cross. WTF indeed. Well, perhaps it's just as well we didn't know what was coming, that we would suffer through 4 years of a federal government that actively sought to undermine virtually everything we stand for and all of our core values, that we would face a global pandemic on top of all of that. But here's the truth. Donald Trump will be gone in 2 months. The pandemic will be gone in 2021 and will still be here. The CDC movement is as strong as ever. We're helping communities and neighbors weather this storm. and we're ready to help rebuild our communities. Our durability has been tested, and we have passed the test. Congratulations to all of you. So what is 2021 going to look like? Well, we do have more work to do on COVID, to be sure. Helping our communities, preventing evictions, helping businesses survive, helping people get the food and the health care they need, trying to maintain some sense of community with all the isolation. We want to make sure that we protect CDC financial health. The CITC program has obviously helped us tremendously. We got our first ever $2 million CITC donation this year. Very exciting. Hopefully there'll be more of those in the future. And we have to make sure that your properties stay financially healthy. Who knows what's going to happen in Washington? It's still pretty uncertain, but we have to believe there's going to be more opportunities there. So we're going to have to engage more fully at the federal level. We've been working hard on racial equity for a long time, but obviously there's so much more to do. And so many of you have really recommitted yourselves to this, and we want to be there with you to do that. The issues of climate, of health equity are more pronounced than ever before. And so I think that's an opportunity for our field to increase our role. And there's going to be opportunities even after the pandemic to leverage the power of technology, remote work, to increase our collaboration, increase our engagement with each other. So those are some of the things that I see coming up in 2021 that we'll be thinking about, and we want you to help us think about, along with all the usual stuff that we work on. So I'm excited about 2021. I can't get here fast enough as far as I'm concerned, and I'm glad and looking forward to working with all of you to make 2021 a great year. So I wanted to take one moment here to recognize that 2020 is also a year of transition for our field. We had 7 long-standing executive directors leave their posts in 2020. And unfortunately, they were not able to get the kind of going away party they all deserved. And we weren't able to go and shake their hand or give them a hug or recognize them in person. So there were some wonderful Zoom events that I attended, but there's over 100 years of service here. And I just want to say their names, and if they're with us, and many are, maybe they can give us a wave. Frank Carvalho from Mill Cities, Peter Gagliardi from Wayfinders, Tim Geller from the CDC of South Berkshire, Dominic Marcigliano from Worcester Community Housing Resources, Joanne Campbell from Valley CDC, Richard Thal, there's a before and after picture, from Jamaica Plain NDC, and Danny LeBlanc from Somerville Community Corporation. And those last 3, Joanne, Richard, and Danny, all served as board chair of MACDC. So a special shout out to them for their commitment to our field. I'm going to miss all of them, although I think I'm going to still stay in touch with all of them. And I'm glad they're here with us today, and want to thank them. And I hope everyone will for their years of service. But of course, transition brings new opportunity, and we are blessed with lots of great new leadership in our field. So here they are, the class of 2020 new leaders. So I want to welcome all of them to our community, to MACDC. It's a beautiful group of people. I've gotten a chance to meet with all of them, and some of them in person even. And I'm really confident that the future is bright for these organizations and for our field with these leaders and all the rest of you. So welcome. And I think it's a sign of the strength and depth of our field. And we're going to hear more about new leaders from Catherine Martinez, one of many in our field.
Hello, everybody. So happy to see so many familiar faces, new faces, and seeing everybody here gathered today. Seeing all those new executive directors is a great segue to our roster of new rising stars. As a former rising star, I'm so pleased to present this year's awards to a group of young leaders. The Rising Star Award is presented to up to 3 people: a CDC staff, a board member, less than 40 years old, who has demonstrated outstanding innovation and achievement by bringing new ideas, energy, and leadership to the community development movement in Massachusetts. This year's awardees are Sarah Janess of Fenway CDC, Javonica Latson of Quincy Geneva Vision CDC, Will Monson of Homeowners Rehab, Inc. Congratulations. Please hold up your awards. Now we're going to hear from these rising stars about why they got involved in the CDC movement in the first place.
I'm Sarah Jennis, and I'm a Fenway CDC board member. I became involved with the Fenway CDC because I was looking to get more connected to local politics and community organizing in my neighborhood, and also to meet more of my neighbors. I had been working and living in the Fenway for a few years, but didn't feel super connected to the community, so I began looking for volunteer opportunities, which led me to join the Fenway CDC's organizing committee in the summer of 2017, and I became a board member in spring of 2019. Working with the Fenway CDC has been wonderful, and I see the positive impact the organization has on the neighborhood, including preserving and redeveloping 97 affordable housing units at Newcastle Saranac, advocating to get the Attorney General's office involved in no-cause evictions at Our Lady's Guildhouse in Kenmore, and also to encourage our neighbors to participate in opportunities like the election and the census. It's a privilege to be a Fenway CDC board member and an honor to receive this Rising Star Award. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Will Munson. I'm a project manager at HRI in Cambridge, and I wanted to work in the CDC field because growing up in the Chicagoland area, I saw how much place mattered and how geographical segregation and inequalities had enormous impacts on the well-being of communities and individuals living in disadvantaged areas. I always wanted to figure out the best way to rectify these disparities, and I began my career at a think tank in Washington, D.C., working on socioeconomic policy. But after a little while, I realized that I wanted a more tangible connection to the work I was doing and those communities that I was serving, and to the wider network of peers who were helping me do that work. So, like many other folks here within MACDC, I was drawn to the Boston area by Urban Planning School, and now I'm doing my best to address the issue of affordable housing in Cambridge and the wider region.
I am Javonica Ladson, Interim Director of Residential Services at Quincy Geneva New Vision CDC. After witnessing the impact that my mother has had within the community that I grew up in, it really sparked my interest to work in the CDC field. I did not come into my first position as a residential service coordinator with a lot of knowledge about the work that I would be doing. However, my drive and dedication to provide assistance to those within my community was a given and came naturally. Our residents at Quincy Geneva motivate me every single day with their kind words, their determination to want to be better, and their ability to push through their hardest times, such as COVID-19. I have definitely found a new passion working at Quincy Geneva New Vision, in that I don't just view my job as work. I view my job as my duty to encourage, assist, and be there for our residents and those within the community.
I'm next. I'm Mark Doan from New View Communities. I'm the executive director there, and I am honored to present the Rick Ann Hadrian Award to Francisco Ramos, who works at New View. And first, I don't know how many of you know about the award, but it's really meaningful because it's named in honor of a woman, Rick Ann Hadrian, who dedicated her career to advancing a vision of resident-led community development during her years, both at Jamaica Plain, NDC, and also at MACDC until she passed away in 1996. And Rick Ann would have turned 60 this year, and we are proud to keep her legacy alive with this award, and I'm really proud to be able to present this to Francisco today. So Francisco joined New View in October of 2018, and he's been transforming not only Fitchburg, where we are, but all of North Central Massachusetts ever since. Right from the start, he challenged us with a vision. Would New View work with him to help train several hundred leaders who would be a force for change? And he told us part of the deal would be that these leaders would be a power among themselves and they'd set their own agenda. So we agreed, and we've been building ever since. So Francisco's model is to empower community residents by engaging them in sort of topic-specific trainings based on the interests within the community. We named this program our Community Stewards Program, and we started in 2018. We graduated 10 residents from the program, and since that time, we've graduated nearly 200. And all sorts of different types of stewards. We have organizing stewards, we have neighborhood stewards, art stewards, financial stewards, health stewards, junior stewards, and education stewards. And what's really powerful about this is this combination of intellectual capital, residents engaging themselves, and leadership, and the affinity groups that they get from working together have changed not only Newview, but like I said, all of Fitchburg and all of our region. And Francisco's most powerful principle is that residents have great ideas and leadership skills, and we just need to help them unleash that power. Ordinary residents will do things we never thought of and make an impact that we never conceived of. So the very first thing that one of our stewards did was from the health stewards, they wanted to combine health and fun, so they created Salsa on the Riverfront to activate a park that wasn't used very much. Our art stewards created festivals, painted murals, and helped revitalize sort of an old alley that was out of the way. In response to COVID, a group of stewards helped scale up the number of meals served to the homeless from 200 to 1,600, partnering with another nonprofit. Our education stewards partnered with the school department to empower the families of kids who have disabilities. And in response to George Floyd's murder, stewards helped organize marches, Juneteenth celebrations, and held one of the few National Night Out celebrations with the Fitchburg Police Department to talk about racial injustice. Finally, we've partnered with Fitchburg State University to create a whole resident leadership institute so that our stewards can serve on boards and committees throughout the region. We are all fortunate to work with Francisco. He's dedicated, he's humble, he's creative, he's a team player, he's a leader, he's a champion for social justice, and most of all, he's a true organizer. Let's have a round of applause for Francisco. I'm trying to find him on my screen. There he is.
Woo! Yeah.
So I think we have a video next. Is that right, Joe? There we go.
Hello, my name is Francisco Ramos. I am the community organizer for New View Communities in Fitchburg. I would like to thank everybody within the association for the honor of receiving this award. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. And I would like to receive it on behalf of all the community stewards that are working with us at New View Communities. It is because of the gratefulness and the gratitude, the generosity that these stewards have displayed, that whatever plans we are developing are actually working and producing social change in Fitchburg and in the North Central region. The stewards have spent countless hours in training, in planning projects and implementing them and evaluating them. And we really appreciate that and want to recognize it. I look forward to many more years of work in the community, mobilizing the community and producing social change. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a very nice annual meeting.
Hi, all. Congratulations to all the awardees. It's awesome to be able to work with such great leaders and great new young leaders. So we all know that the best part of our annual meetings is being able to chat with your colleagues, seeing each other, talking and learning from each other. So we wanted to give you another opportunity. We're going to do another breakout session now, and we hope that you'll get to talk with old friends and make new friends. So we want you to discuss what you are going to do in the next year to sustain community within your organization, your neighborhood, your workplace, among residents, or otherwise. Your organization might be doing something like EBA did. They had Zumba classes live on FaceTime. Or you might have your staff reaching out to all of your residents with phone calls regularly to make sure everyone is connected. So I think we're all going to go to breakout sessions now and have this discussion. We're all coming back now. Welcome back from your breakouts.
Interesting.
Thank you. I hope you had good conversations. And if if you want to, if you learn something really interesting or new from your colleagues, I hope you'll share it in the chat, because we've got, over 200 people, so we can't all report out on the great conversations we had, but please feel free to put it in the chat, okay? Right now, I'm going to turn it over to Ethel Griffin from Revitalize CDC in Springfield.
Ethel, before you go, is everybody back from the breakouts? It's hard to know. The number it gets it stabilized. All right, go ahead, Ethel.
Okay. Good afternoon. We know that all of the CDCs in Massachusetts stepped up to help their community during the pandemic. Damn it, I'm sorry. I'm pleased to present the CDC roll call, which will tell you about the many different ways that CDCs responded to their community needs.
Hi, I'm Ann Muller from New View Communities. Welcome to Carter School Apartments. We placed this building in service and did a full, safe rent up during the COVID shutdown. Welcome home.
Hi, my name's Ellie. I am the community organizer at Worcester Common Ground, and during the pandemic, we delivered veggie boxes to our tenants.
I am Carl Nagy Kirschland from Just to Start. We've launched the Safe and Secure Fund, assisting 200 families with urgent financial support while continuing to run all of our programs in developing new affordable housing like this.
Hi, my name is Perla Lara. I work at the Southwest Boston Community Development Corporation. During this pandemic, we have added 32 tenanted units to our now 74 unit portfolio. We've made over 100 calls to residents, community members, small businesses, and former Green Team youth, and we're able to connect these people to various resources.
Boston Impact Initiative created the People Guarantee Pool to provide income to workers who had lost their jobs during the shutdown. Here's how portfolio companies reacted.
The People Guarantee Pool was an amazing resource for our workers.
I'm Amy Campbell with the South Boston Neighborhood Development Corporation. During the pandemic, we launched the Neighborhood Aid Network to get food, PPE, and care packages to neighbors who did not know where to turn for help or were ineligible for other programs.
Hi, I'm Ana Luna, Executive Director of ACT Lawrence. This year, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we successfully moved our Youth Jobs program completely online. We graduated 25 youth with jobs and leadership skills.
I am Angie Liu, the Executive Director of the Asian Community Development Corporation. This year, we helped raise $350,000 of emergency funds to distribute to the most vulnerable households in Asian community.
Hi, I'm Kara Erdman, and I'm the COVID-19 Program Coordinator at Revitalize CDC in Springfield. During the pandemic, we've started a delivery program that brings cleaning supplies, PPE, and food to people directly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic so that they can remain safe and healthy in their homes.
My name is Genevieve from Watch CDC. We help over 900 households with basic needs, helping them apply for local and state emergency applications for rent. And also we coordinate with 30 other agencies to help our community with basic needs.
Hi, my name is Dee Dice. I'm the Small Business Development Director at Valley Community Development, and we will be giving out $1.3 million to small businesses thanks to the Federal CARES Act.
My name is Sharon Cho, and I'm a project manager with Dorchester Bay Economic Development Corporation. I'm here at the site of our Indigo Block project, where we're developing 80 units of rental housing, of which more than half are affordable units and 9 homeownership opportunities.
Hi, I'm Helen Karam from the Franklin County CDC, and during the pandemic, we have deferred loan payments for our small business owners.
Hi, I'm Pam Anderson, the Director of Business and Credit Programs for the Community Development Partnership. We are currently in the process of distributing over $400,000 of CDBG-funded forgivable loans to local small businesses who have suffered a loss due to the pandemic.
I'm Chris Norris, the Executive Director of Metro Housing Boston. Between July 1st and September 30th, Metro Housing spent $3.2 million to preserve the tenancies of 1,100 families in Metro Boston's region.
Hi, I'm Cassie Whithouse, a project manager at TND. In March, the Connect program at TND launched a resource hotline. Operated by dedicated staff and volunteers, 2,500 callers have found help applying for public assistance programs. So far, volunteers have helped callers access almost $2.5 million of cash assistance.
I'm Lauren Klingler from Lawrence Community Works, and during the pandemic, we created a community resource fund and redistributed over $200,000 to hundreds of Lawrence families for groceries, rent payment, and utilities.
Hola, I'm Yahaira Mejillo, Director of Resident Service Program at EVA. During the pandemic, our residents have never been alone. EVA has been there for them, providing food access, support related to unemployment, one-to-one technology assistance, case management, and virtual events.
Hi, this is Gonzalo Pripo, CEO of Somerville Community Corporation. During the pandemic, we helped low-income families with rental assistance application and also unemployment application benefits. Thank you for your support.
My name is Claire Camo, and I am the Senior Project Manager here at Metro West Collaborative Development. And during the pandemic, we broke ground on 48 units of rental housing in Medway.
Hi, I am Darrell Harris, and I am a staff member at Urban Edge Housing Corporation. And during the pandemic, we distribute $150 Visa gift cards to more than 1,200 residents in the Roxbury and Jamaica Plain community, injecting more than $189,000 into our local economy and small businesses.
Hello, I'm Sunit John, and this is Nick Pittman, and we are with the Fenway CDC. During the pandemic, we have been renovating the historic Newcastle Saranac buildings in Boston to preserve affordable housing for 97 households.
I'm to Quincy, Geneva. I'm Nicole Purvis. I'm the Director of Programming and Residential Services. During the pandemic, we made it a priority to feed our families. Thank you, Jean, for always making sure our families are fed.
Hi, my name is Misael.
Hi, my name is Marilyn.
Hi, my name is Gabriel, and we are NOAA Youth Organizers. Today we have helped our Speak for the Trees to plant these new trees here on Border Street. We are here to keep up with the maintenance for these next following few weeks.
We have also been partnering with the neighboring cities such as Chelsea and the Chelsea Collaborative. We've been doing food distributions to help out.
Help out more and get more trees to continue to expand our tree canopy campaign.
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Mi nombre es María Claudio. Soy líder de la comunidad de la CDA, donde ellos nos ayudaron en esta pandemia y nos ofrecieron unos printers, unos laptops para nuestros niños de nuestra comunidad. Estamos muy orgullosos de lo que hace la organización CDA para nuestra comunidad.
Hi, I'm Rosa Ordaz with Harbor Light Community Partners, and during the pandemic, we built and held a socially distant open house for 2 Hardy Street. The Community Scale Housing Initiative made it possible for us to build 6 affordable units for family housing in Beverly, Massachusetts.
Hi, my name is Teresa Wollander, Development Coordinator for the Waterfront Historic Area League in New Bedford. And this past year, we transformed this historic home into 10 units of Veterans Transitional Housing in partnership with the Veterans Transition House.
Hi, I'm Laurie Driscoll, Commercial Lender with Seed Corporation and Cranberry Country Chamber of Commerce Board Member. During the pandemic, we provided free business information sessions for not only Chamber members, but any small business owner who wanted to Zoom with us.
Hi, my name is Noelle Humphreys, and I'm the Associate Real Estate Development Director at NeighborWorks Housing Solutions. During the pandemic, we managed to complete the development of 5 units of housing for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities right here in Quincy.
Hi, everybody. My name is Leslie Melendez, and I'm the Deputy Director at Groundwork Lawrence. During the pandemic, we were able to safely open our farmers market to be able to offer fresh and healthy food to the community. We also had a program for restaurants that provided economic stability for 8 local restaurants, while at the same time providing 16,000 hot meals to residents in need. This is how we're attacking the pandemic. How are you?
I'm Keith Ferry, the president and CEO of Wayfinders. During the pandemic, we opened our new housing center where our amazing staff provided assistance to over 1,000 families with more than $2 million in resources to support their housing stability.
Hi, this is Ed Banks, the program coordinator for the Mill City Mentors program at CTI, and how I helped during the pandemic is I started an e-mentoring program in which mentors and mentees can play video games like Fred, he's in the middle of a game, or they can just talk to one another, enjoy each other's company, and develop a friendship.
Hi, my name is Elisa Magnata. I'm the CEO of Housing Assistance Corporation. And in response to the pandemic, we started a workforce housing relief fund to augment the RAFT and IRMA funds that we also distribute, as well as launching an online application so that people could apply for any of these funds virtually.
My name is Chantal Alex, and I am a staff member at North Shore CDC. During the pandemic, we developed a passport program that provided vouchers for food and cleaning supplies and other essential items to the most vulnerable residents in the community by partnering with 6 Point neighborhood bodegas and restaurants.
Let's all unmute ourselves and give a big hand for the CDCs who are doing such a good job.
This was awesome. Awesome.
Thank you so much, everyone. This was amazing, and it's another example of the work that CDCs do. My name is Vanessa Calderon Rosado. I am the Chief Executive Officer of IBA, Inquilinos Boricuas en Acción, a CDC based in Boston South End. And as we just saw, the work of CDCs is all inclusive. We go beyond building and preserving affordable housing to revitalizing neighborhoods, creating vibrant communities, and really support our neighbors and our residents through thick and thin. That work, in many instances, includes working with local police departments to promote and ensure the safety of our communities. But that important community bridging work with police often comes with tension, as young people, particularly Black and Latinx young males, may become targets of police just by virtue of their race and ethnicity. At IBA, we've worked very hard to build a stronger relationship with police, but also to raise awareness amongst our young people of the needed reforms to ensure that police's work is to serve and protect them, not kill them. In the current cycle of IBA's Youth Development Program, we have been working with our youth in examining the dichotomy of building strong relationships with the police while advocating for police reform. As part of this work, our youth has been hard at work expressing their views about this issue through spoken word. Today, I have the honor to introduce one of our young men in IBA's Youth Development Program, Isaiah Almonte, and his poem about this challenge through his own lived experience. Isaiah is an 18-year-old senior at Snowden International High School, or formerly known as Copley High. He is a longtime resident of Villa Victoria here in the South End, IBA's affordable housing community. He has been a participant of our youth development program for several years, and I think about 3 years now. He's an inspiring lyricist with a passion to change his community for the better using his words. He focuses a lot of his pieces around the social struggles of being a man of color, a young man of color. He also talks about the impact of gentrification and other social issues close to his heart. When he isn't writing music or poetry, he is on the football field being a team player or a team leader. And today, I want to ask you to please help me welcome IBA's Youth Development Program participant, Isaiah Almonte, with his poem about police brutality. Thank you.
Mama told me to stay home. She said, no one to love you out there. The cops are supposed to protect us. Why do I have to feel scared? Please, sir, don't pull out your gun. I got my hands up in the air. Bang, I told you that I was unarmed. How is it that you're the one scared? They killed Trayvon for a hoodie and Eric for selling some squares. It's crazy, the cops are the bullies. This life is truly unfair. Floyd had a knee on his neck and he died while crying for air. Thinking, am I the one next? How does one begin to prepare? Trying to spread love, get tired of these thugs, cause of my skin and my hair. Assuming we sell drugs, they're pulling our plugs, our lives can never be spared. We tell the police we're calling for peace, you can tell that they never care. Can't be on the streets before you get beat, make sure that you're well aware. You told us that we were all equal, but you kill us and beat us like slaves. It's crazy that we step outside and we basically dig our own graves. They killed Martin Luther for dreaming that things would be different one day, just hoping that things would be different. I mean, what else can I say?
Thank you.
Amazing and hard to follow. I don't know if any of you believe in reincarnation, but I have one statement that I want to leave you with. And I think we're seeing something full circle here with this young man. That was an amazing poem and very moving. And I want to leave you and leave this meeting with a quote from a very important person that we lost this year, an American statesman, a civil rights and nonviolence leader, John Lewis. When historians pick up their pens to write the story of the 21st century, let them say that it was your generation who laid down the heavy burdens of hate at last, and that peace finally triumphed over violence, aggression, and war. So I say to you all, walk with the wind, brothers and sisters, and let the spirit of peace and the power of everlasting love be your guide. I look forward to working with all of you in the coming year to lay down this heavy burden. Thank you, everybody, for attending this meeting. And I think if you can stick around a bit, we're going to be talking a little bit after the meeting. This has been very powerful and moving. And let's give everybody one more round of applause, all the CDCs that showed us all the good work they did, and everybody that joined this meeting. Thanks so much, everyone.